morning everybody, and hope you're enjoying the lockdown series. It's a rainy day here in Blenheim, Tuesday the 7th, and it's actually raining really heavily, so we're about to go for a walk. I will probably get quite wet. I thought I'd just quickly jump in and make a very short video of a very basic breakdown of taking a breath. So quite often when we are in a class or any situation, someone says take a deep breath or take a breath, and we don't always get told how to do that. So this is going to be super simple and hopefully reasonably quick, just to show you the components of a breath and how to put it together. And it's one of really the best things you can do for your life actually, is to learn how to breathe slowly and learn how to not over breathe. So it's not about breathing deep and taking in lots of breath. It's about slowing the breath right down. So then we actually start to make better use of the breath, and we're able to also remove the breath from the lungs as well better. So as you may know also, your whole emotional mental state is so linked to your breathing. When you're excited or afraid or angry, your breathing tends to be more rapid and shallow and irregular. And when you feel more relaxed and calm and safe, your breathing naturally slows down and becomes deeper, more rhythmic, more slow. So a lot of people are breathing anywhere up to sort of 18 times a minute. That's relatively common. You want to get it down to sort of 4 or 5 or 6 breaths a minute. We have a practice we do in Kundalini Yoga that's one breath a minute as well. So, and there's different practices, there's a million different practices. But first, just learning how to use the muscles you have and how to take a breath. So I just want you, if you can, you just interlace the fingers a little bit like this, and it's probably easiest if you're in the right position to lie flat on your back and have your hands over your belly, your fingers interlaced like that. That way your spine's nice and straight. If you are sitting up, just feet flat on the ground on a chair, sitting cross-legged, just straight spine, relaxed shoulders, slightly tilted chin, just straighten up the cervical spine. Chest nice and raised, and relaxed and open, and belly relaxed. All the breathing's through the nose, extremely important as well. A lot of people chronically breathe through the mouth. We're just doing ourselves no favors here and creating a lot of stress, toxicity, and it's affecting our physical and mental health so drastically. Just switching to the nose, we become more efficient, we humidify the breath better, we warm it ready for the lungs, and there's lots and lots of little channels in here that are doing a lot of work in preparing that breath for the lungs and also for the absorption of prana, which is life. So we want life. So where there is prana, there's life, there's strength, there's healing. We're going to absorb that in these little areas here, which are known as, there's some mama points in the nostrils, and that's going to help us as well. So breathing through the nose, putting the hands on the belly, interlacing the fingers just a little bit softly. And when you really relax the abdomen, it just will come out a little bit naturally. Not too much, but it's not held in. There's no tension like that. You're not sort of holding your body in. Nice straight spine, nice open, relaxed front. If you're lying on your back, you just close the eyes down and take a slow breath through the nostrils. Even before you do that, just notice the breath through the nostrils. Just feel it. Feel the sensation of the breath. For those of you that are thinking about detoxification or weight loss or any of those things, learn how to breathe. This is how we expel so much of the waste from our body, through the breath, through the correct breath. Okay, so just watching that breath coming in and out through the nostrils, keeping the face relaxed, shoulders relaxed, belly relaxed. And the next step, we're going to breathe in through the nostrils a little bit more deeply, but not super deep, just gently. And if the belly's really relaxed, notice how it moves. If you've got those belly fingers resting on the belly, as you inhale, you'll start to notice the belly will rise as you inhale and naturally fall as you exhale. So you can visualize that a little bit like filling a balloon. As you inhale, you're sort of blowing the balloon up. As you exhale, you're letting the air out, releasing it back out. So you're using the diaphragm here. So it's a muscle here that's separating the lower and the upper part of the torso. It's basically a concave position. And then as you inhale and the lungs expand, presses down on the diaphragm, pushes down on the digestive organs and pushes out the belly. A lot of people have tension in the abdomen and it's chronic. It's there all the time, or we wear tight clothing, or we want to look like we're skinny or something. So we hold that area. So let it go. You're going to be far more relaxed. You're going to be more graceful. You're going to feel better. You're going to be more healthy. You're going to relax, and your mind will become more calm just by relaxing this area and slowing down the breath. So a couple more breaths like that. As you inhale, you might notice the fingers slightly pull apart as the belly rises. As you exhale, the fingers slightly move back. If you're doing this with children, you can put a little toy or something on their belly, pretend they're on the ocean like a little boat, and they can have the wave going up and the wave going down. Make it fun. You can teach children, if they're very young, they'll be breathing often correctly anyway, but a lot of children will start to develop poor breathing habits. A lot of people breathe paradoxically, where they inhale and they draw the belly in. So that's the reverse. You're actually restricting the ability to take a good, long, deep breath. And if they try to take a big breath, they'll often sort of lift the shoulders and pull in the belly. So that's just creating heaps of tension. You just want to be relaxed. Relaxation's really the first step. Okay, the next little exercise, so you kind of feel that now. You might need to practice it. If you could practice that for 2 or 3 minutes or longer a day, you're going to very quickly start to develop that muscle of the diaphragm. So it's a muscle. We need to work it. We need to build it up and strengthen it and get it working as it should. The next exercise, put your right hand on the belly and put your left hand on the lower rib cage. So just those lower ribs that can move a little bit. And this time, still keeping the shoulders relaxed, the face relaxed. I want you just to hold the belly still as you can. And as you inhale, expand through the ribs. So you'll feel those lower ribs slightly move apart, slightly move out as you inhale. Belly's staying still. We're not moving the diaphragm this time. It might move a little bit, but just try and hold it reasonably still. And then as you exhale, the ribcage comes back in. You just close your eyes and really focus into it, breathing in and out through the nostrils. Inhaling, expanding the ribcage. You'll feel it through the back as well. Exhaling, contracting the ribcage. A lot more muscles involved. There's a lot more effort involved in this kind of breath, and we can't breathe quite as deeply, but it's important just to feel that part of the breath. This is a good breath too for women when they're pregnant and the diaphragm starts to become restricted. They can just relax into these muscles a little bit more and still keep the breathing nice and slow and calm, because that's also going to keep the baby nice and calm. Okay, so hopefully you can feel that difference between those two breaths. So we had the diaphragmatic breath, the abdominal breath, natural breath that we did first. And then we just put that on pause for a moment. We did the thoracic breathing. Now staying in that position, staying relaxed. This time we're going to put it together and we're going to breathe in one breath. We're going to start with inhaling, letting the diaphragm come down, expanding the belly like a balloon. Keep inhaling, expand the rib cage. And then when we think the breath or the lungs are full, we just take a small sniff in through the nostrils and we fill the upper lungs. That'll just push up towards the collarbones and the shoulders from within. Your body stays relaxed. Okay, so let's just give that a go. So inhale, expand the belly, keeping it as relaxed as you can. Keep inhaling, expand the ribs. Breath feels full, little sniff more. Just suspend that breath for a couple of seconds. Just feel that lovely quiet silence at the end of the breath. And then as you exhale, you're going to exhale from the upper part of the chest, out through the nose. The rib cage is going to come back in. And last, the belly is going to come back in. You can just gently pull the belly in to push out the breath. At the end of the breath, pushing out a little bit more. Just do this at your own pace. Some of you can take a long, long time to take a slow breath. Some will need to go a little bit faster than what I'm explaining. That's okay. You just need to relax and just slowly, easily build up your capacity. There's no rush, you know, never strain or push or try to do things quickly in these kind of practices. Slow, gentle, steady, regular. That's all you need to know. Okay, so do a couple more like that. So inhale, expand the belly. Keep inhaling, expand the ribcage. It's one breath, just smooth, becomes really smooth. And you just feel like your whole body's expanding from within. The end of the breath, that little sniff more. Suspend. And the breath out from the upper lungs, then the rib cage, then the abdomen. At the end of the breath, a little sniff out. It's very important to get all the breath out. That's going to help you when you breathe in. And you just hold out for a couple of seconds as well. Let's just do one more, or however many more in the time for you. Inhale, expand the belly, expand the rib cage. Upper chest, keeping the face and shoulders relaxed, keeping the body relaxed. After a short suspension, exhaling again all the way out from the upper chest, mid-chest, abdomen. The last bit out at the end, holding out for a few seconds. Then just relax the breath. So stay in a really comfortable position, whether you're sitting or lying down, and come back to the nostrils, just feeling the breath flowing in and out through the nostrils, noticing how it's a little bit cooler and drier as it comes in, warmer and more humid as it goes out. Just notice any areas of tension in your body, and with your intention, just release that tension. So it's a beautiful exercise to do during the day, even if you just stop between every activity during the day. Just close your eyes for a moment, relax the abdomen, notice any tension in the shoulders and face, release it. Open up the chest, straighten the spine, and take a couple of little slow breaths, and just telling your body, release, relax, let go. Any tension, mental or physical, doesn't matter. Coming into the present moment, that's what the focus on the breath really helps us, noticing the moment that you're in. And appreciating the moment as it is. Finding the beauty in every moment. Just staying with that beautiful focus on the breath. So this becomes also a beautiful relaxation, meditation. So a really nice way to practice would be just to start your practice watching the breath, and it'll tell you what's happening with your physical mental state, because depending how the breath is moving, it's going to communicate to you. The mind is really following that breath. So if you find the breath is really irregular, you'll get a very good insight into how your emotional state is. So you first just notice the breath, you first notice the body, you accept what you're experiencing in that moment. Then you can practice a little bit of that abdominal breathing, natural breathing, a couple of minutes of that, really relaxed, nice and slow. Then put it all all together and do a couple of minutes of long deep breathing. Again, don't strain, just build up the awareness, build up the practice. Start to condition your breath so that when you're unconsciously breathing, your breath will naturally start to be more natural in the way that your diaphragm moves, the way that your rib cage moves. You're not going to be doing big, long, deep yogic breaths during the day when you're unconscious, but you will breathe more naturally, more slowly. It's going to have a radical impact on your health, your state of mind. So for your home practice, a minute or two watching the breath, tuning into the body, relaxing any tension, then some abdominal breathing, then a few minutes, couple of minutes maybe of long, deep yogic breathing, then letting the breath just go and focusing on the flow of the breath as a little meditation at the end. So sometimes thoughts just come up and take us away, which is fine, and then we just come back and watch the breath. So the breath becomes really like an anchor to hold us in the present moment. So that's just a simple practice to share with you today, but it's quite fundamental, and it'll help whenever you are doing a breathing exercise. You can sort of remember, relax, remember how the breath works, and also start to understand some of the unconscious patterns that you may have developed chronically with stress or poor diet or smoking or any different kinds of activities that can create those poor breathing patterns. A lot of people, it's mouth breathing, so just remember nasal breathing all the time, even when you're exercising. It can be challenging at first, especially walking up the hill, but you can do it. It'll make a massive difference. Okay, thank you so much, and I hope that was helpful, and have a fantastic day. I better go and have my walk. Bye.